Hey, welcome back to another video. I'm Coach Sungbin, and today we're going to work on flexibility for kickboxing. So, flexibility. You need this because you want to kick higher, right? If I kick low, I can only get little kicks. I can't get that much. But if I can kick high, I can get a lot of kicks, right? So, first muscle we're going to stretch is the hamstrings. So, first stretch I like to do is one leg in, one leg out. And what I want to do is try to get this leg as far as possible. Not like this, here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch my toes, at least try to. If you can't touch your toes, then reach for it, right? Two hands. What you don't want to do in any stretch is hunch over like this. Trying to reach the toes, I can't reach the toes. You're not stretching anything. You're just hurting yourself more. So what you really want to do is like this, with your hips, like that. Like a cobra stretch, right? For your abs, like this, where my hips go under. Same thing for here, in any stretch, like this. So what I like to do is I like to kind of pulse my way into it. Pulsing is like this, right? So I want to just stretch like this, just touch a little, and stay here. And then obviously do the other side. Here. So the way stretching works is your muscle doesn't want to be stretched, right? It's tight. So imagine doing a squat, right? If I do a squat here with some weights, I go down here and I hold it here. I can't hold it here forever. My muscles are gonna give out. And what happens is, it's tense, then when I can't do no more, I relax and I fall. Same thing with the legs, right? It's tight here. So my legs, my muscles here are I'm pulling it apart and they're trying to bring it back in. So when I stay here for a long time, my muscles end up relaxing, right? So if you can't reach the toes, then maybe touch your knees, right? And stay here for a little bit. When it gets comfortable and you're ready to go further, then you maybe want to touch your shins. Okay, now it's tight again. And relax, breathe. Breathing is very important in stretching. You want to touch your ankle, okay? Then your toes, then your whole foot, and maybe you can go down all the way. So this stretch, I like to do about 5 sets. I'd stay here for 30 to a minute. Switch around. You want to make sure, like stretching, you want to mix it around so it's not too boring, right? Here, move around, stretch, all the way down, back up. Make it dynamic. And now, next stretch we're going to do is 2 feet out, like this. And then what I'm going to, same thing. You know, if you can't go far, just touch here, wherever. If you can go far, grab your toes, grab your feet, and down. So what I would do for the hamstrings is I'd stay here for 1 set, then middle, then this side, and rotate for about 5 sets. Now next muscle we're going to stretch is the insides of my legs here, okay? So first thing we're going to do is butterflies. So put your feet together like this, and the goal of this stretch is to open up your muscles here in your hips. So you want to try to touch your knee to the ground by grabbing your ankles, your feet, and now I want to get my elbows and push down on my knees like this. Okay, I want to hold it here for a little bit. Then when I hold it for a little bit, then I want to grab my feet and flutter. This is like, warming up to the stretch. So I flutter. And I go back to this. Then what you can also do is try to touch your head to your toes. Come back up, flutter, and push down with your elbows. So you can do 3 things from here, right? So you want to mix it around, play with it. There's no set rule or instructions how to do it the right way. Just do what your body feels right? So if I do this and it feels hurting, then I come back up, then I relax. Okay, if I relax a little too much, then I go back down to stretching again. Stretching should be uncomfortable, but it should never be painful. So next stretch we're going to do is, it's called a straddle stretch. So I want to start here, 90 degrees, right? So I don't feel any pressure here. So what I want to do is I'm going to anchor this foot here. I'm going to slide this foot out. So I'm going to pick my hands up, my butt up, I'm going to scoot up. So now I'm like a foot, more degrees out, right? So now it's uncomfortable now, right? So I'm going to stay here for a little bit. Like I said earlier, stretching, your muscles relax. So right now it's tight. It's fighting to stay together. And I want to relax here. I'm going to go to my left. I'm going to pulse. I'm going to go to my right. I'm going to go to the middle. And if you can't go all the way down, go hand by hand. Only this much, that's okay. Stay for a little bit, 30 seconds. Now you're going to start relaxing, then go up more. Keep going up until you can go all the way down. So once this gets comfortable, say you sit here for a minute, then you go up again. I went a little bit, but now it's uncomfortable again. So I sit here again. Same thing. Left side, right side, in the middle. What you also can do from here is put your hands behind your back. This is for advanced people, right? But you can still try it out. So you want to strengthen the muscles here. Stretching is one thing, but strengthening the muscles here is another thing. So put your hands behind your back. You're going to go down and control your weight. Control, hold, come back up, go back down, go side to side, come back up. Now, when we're done with the stretch, I usually stay here for like 30 minutes, maybe to an hour, but that's a little extreme, but you can do about 10 minutes, So when you're done, don't close your legs all the way, because getting to here theoretically takes a long time. So when I close my legs, you don't want to shock it. You want to stay relaxed. So again, we're going to reverse. Hands here, anchor, go back. Now relax. Shake your legs around a little bit. Tenderize your legs, and go back again. Move around. Don't close all the way. Then when you're ready to come back and close, go back to butterflies. And you should be able to touch the ground a lot more than before. Another stretch we're going to do is called a pigeon pose. I'm going to have my legs 90 degrees here and leg all the way back. I want to make sure that my body is not turned this way, but I look forward. And if I do this, there's not much tension here. Like the cobra stretch I showed very in the beginning, use your hips, roll out like this. And you can stay for a little bit. Then I switch this side. Another stretch you can do is a deep lunge. So I'm going to put my foot here. My toes want to be above my knee and this back. And I can put my hand under here. Same thing, hip roll. Not hunch over, but roll like this. Then switch this side. And stretch. Now, last muscle we're going to stretch is the quads. So everyone focus on the hamstrings, but you got to also focus on the opposing muscle here. The thighs, they use a lot of muscle and it gets tight, right? So best stretch I do, and I like, is I put one foot out, one leg back. Now I just want to lay back like this. And you don't got to do anything. It just stretches on its own. This hurts. If you can't go all the way down, then hold onto a wall or put your your hand here, just relax. But ideally, go all the way down and put your knees on the ground. And obviously switch and stretch until it hurts. When it hurts, stop and go to another stretch or relax. But if this is pain and this is uncomfortable, you should be right in the middle. Never start hurting. Then you can hurt yourself really bad and stretch here. So once you stretch, then once I get to the end, I'll redo everything else. So hamstrings, and then butterfly, and my end goal is here. So I should be able to go back further this time, right? And I should be able to go all the way down more, flat. Same with the front here. The lunge, I should be able to, you know, almost do a front split, right? All the way down. So if you can't go all the way down, just start here, right? Same thing with this. Any stretch, if you can't go all the way down, just start low here maybe, right? Never hurt yourself, never, you know, overstretch, right? But it's important to do all muscles. So obviously hamstrings, because when you kick, this is used here in the back. When I kick, this muscle is used, right? Another muscle is the quads. When I extend, this should be flexible enough where I can kick and hold it there, right? And when I lift my leg up, I'm stretching here, right? So all these muscles that we're stretching here, butterflies, hamstrings, you know, hips, they're all coming together. And one more thing, calves. So best calf stretch I like to do is to get here, and I want to put my foot on my ankle. I'm going to try to touch my heel to the ground. And you just feel a stretch here. And switch. Switch again, and switch. So calves, they won't really help you get higher kicks, but it's important to stretch the legs, right? Because when you pivot, you use your calves and your ankles. So we're going to go through one more time, okay? So we have hamstrings. You know, stay here for a couple seconds, a minute, you know, get comfortable and breathe. Again, breathing is very important here. See, at first I couldn't go all the way down, but once you get comfortable and warm, you know, you can go all the way down. I can touch my head to my knee. I switch this side. Head to my knee. I couldn't do it before, the beginning of the video, but now I can. Because your legs warm up, they get tired. It's like a rubber band. A new rubber band is tight, it's hard to pull. But you keep stretching out, it becomes loose, right? Here. All the way down. Butterflies. Knees to the ground. Touching my head. Okay? Straddle stretch. All the way down, right? Pigeon pose. A deep lunge. And switch. So this is called static stretching. Static stretching is when you're static, you don't move, you just stretch. It's different from stretching like ballistic stretching or dynamic stretching. So this stretch you want to do after training, because if I just hold this here and try to kick, I go from stationary to active. See, I could hurt my leg, I could have injuries, right? I could pull a muscle, I could tear a muscle. So these should be done. If you don't train, like if you didn't train today, then you can stretch. If you're not going to train, that's fine. But these stretches should be done after training. Before training, you should do other stretches, which I'll go over right now. So first thing we're going to do is bring your legs straight up and down. And try to touch your toes to your hands. Boom. This is called dynamic stretching, because I'm moving around, I'm being dynamic, right? So go straight up and touch your hand with your toes. Another thing you do, a variation of this, is going outside and inside. I'm going to bring my leg here and out. And coming out to in. And the front looks like this. Straight up, touch. Going out, going in, So those are the stretches you can do after training and before training. So make sure you do these stretch at least, once a day, preferably 5 times a week. Stretching, it takes time to get flexible, right? You can't just do this for 2 hours a day, once a week, and expect to do the splits or get flexible. It adds up, right? It takes time. So you don't have to stretch for an hour, 2 hours, but say, 10 minutes before bed, 10 minutes after bed, when you wake up, right? So that's 20 minutes. If you're on your phone for a long time, you can do 10 minutes of stretching, right? So do these every day, and these will help your kickboxing skills. We just went over a lot of stretches today that will help your flexibility in kickboxing. So practice these at home, and remember, if you don't use it, you lose it. So stretch.